everybody, welcome back to Dad Plays Solo on the Dad and Daughter Play Games channel. First, I want to apologize for our lack of videos to our subscribers out there. It's been a long winter, and Dad has been tired after long hours at work, but it is springtime, things are getting better, things are getting great. I myself have a whole bunch of games lined up that have animal, plant, and spring themes to them for Dad Plays Solo, and Sophie and I are very excited to get back to the table. We have a whole bunch of games that we've been playing this winter that we're excited to show you and give you our thoughts on. That being said, let's get back to today's video. I'm doing an unboxing of Monster Pit. This is take two. Had some issues with the first video, so I'm going to redo it again for you guys. So this is Monster Pit from Elzra. This is the Kickstarter that just showed up in our doorstep the other day by Nick Seddin and Aron West, and illustrated by Kwanchai Moriya. I must say, I do love the artwork in this game a lot. And if the weight of the game has anything to do with the value, which we know normally is not the case, this game weighs a lot. So I did do the Kickstarter that includes 2 extra boss monsters, the Sand Dragon and the Dwarf Necromancer, as well as stickers to put on their tokens. And you can see the Sand Dragon there a little bit. So let's go for take 2 of this unboxing, shall we? So here, I love the artwork a lot. Shows all the boss monsters on here. They have a cool style. Like you can't quite see what they look like, which I kind of like. And once again, here is the back of the box. So this game is for 1 to 5 players. It does have a solo mode, and you can play with a 5th player, with a 5th player playing the boss monster, which is pretty cool. So all the bosses have different behaviors and tactics, and some have special setups. So you're basically defending the Citadel, trying to defeat the boss monster as he sends other monsters at you and tries to destroy the Citadel and stop you from doing certain actions. So here we go into the box, shall we? Now it's a nice box, nice and sturdy. There's no limited finish on it, but it is good quality. I like it a lot. So as we get into the game here, you see the board right on top here. It is a 4-fold board. It does not have a limited finish on it, but it is built very well. So hopefully you can see most of the board here. So you'll be able to go to different locations: City Watch, Great Hall, Market District, Railkeep, Southern Gate, and Mystics Quarter. And they have different buildings in each quarter, and those buildings allow you to do different actions on your turn. And that's it. It fits the art style that the game fits. Very cool. I like it a lot. So far, so good. All right, into the rule book. Nice quality rule book, good size. There is a learn to play video. I will put that up on there. If anybody wants to scan the QR code, you certainly can. Describes all the components, the game overview, what to put stickers on, how to set up your captain. So the 2-piece boards you'll have. You have an attack side and a defense side. And you will be able to start with choosing what board you have. Then you have the monster setup. Each monster has its own setup. Some have special rules. They are also double-sided. And then you have a monster tracking board here. Describes the 3 different dice there that you'll be using pretty often. Nice pictures of the game set up there. The different phases it goes through: morning, midday, twilight, and the night phase. Describes the outpost cards and the different types of creatures and people you can get in that. Card breakdown, how combat works, different examples of monster winning, captain winning, captain wins with a critical blow, different examples. Monster ranking, it tells you the order in which they are weakest to strongest. So if you want to start with the easiest one, you start over here. I believe she's the Enchantress. I believe so. Difficult. So then the solo rules, which are extremely short. It's just that right there. So once you learn how to play the game, the solo rules are super easy. Some cards have this gold little icon on it, which tells you during solo play it uses that. So for instance, on the boss monster, this one would have 5 health per character here, if you can see that. But if you play solo, he just has 10 health. And it describes all the buildings in the City Watch and what you can do in each of those. More of those, more of those. Terminology, card, keywords. Easy enough. Alright, so there's some assembly required. There is a sticker sheet here. All the boss monsters. You have all of their captains. So those you'll put on some of the wood tokens that come in the game. We have a little cheat sheet for all the players here. Goes through all the phases, what all the buildings do. Boom, boom, boom. What different symbols mean. This is chords, and gives you some examples of combat here as well. So it gives you an idea of that. Alright, punch board, punch board, punch board. Alright, so we have our captains here. The captains are on punch board, which is very nice. They are double-sided, so this is their main side. And if you get injured, you flip them over. You don't have special ability, and you have less die, I believe. Oh, different die. You have different die. So you're favoring the monster here. I'll explain that in a second. We have different monsters and other tokens. These are special things that go on the board as well. And gold and runes and dice and more special things here. Health. More runes. Very cool. Right, there's a white sheet that kind of separates the top from the bottom here. As you can see, I already opened up these. Alright, so the dice. Dice are super cool. They are engraved. There are 3 dice that you'll be using a lot in the game. So the white die here has more attacks on it than it has monster results. So the white die favors the player. The yellow die is balanced. It has an equal amount of monster and hero attack symbols. And the red die, critical for the monster, has more monster symbols on it, so it favors the monster. Then there are 2 rune die, which I'm not quite sure what they do yet. There's a black and a red one. I'm sure they come into play when you're dealing with your board here, which I'll show you shortly. But there are a good amount of dice here because some of the monsters can roll a ton of dice. We have some cool crystals. There are green ones, white ones, and some blue ones. We do like the little crystals. Everybody likes what they look like. I'll bust out these blue ones here for everyone to see if I can get the bag open. These tiny bags are hard to open. There we go. So as always, the crystals are a nice feature in games. I like them a lot. And all the games that we have them in. Oops. Okay, so those are those. Here are some cubes that are used for tracking stuff on the monster board. Tracking his health and dice, how many dice he gets. Here are all the wooden tokens that your captains and the monsters go on as well. You have to apply stickers to those. You'll be using some of those double-sided due to the nature of the monsters. Okay, we have a whole slew of different cards here. Hang on, let me pull this up here so I can see what they are. We have the encounter cards. Those are encounter cards. Separate those. These are the monster cards. These are what monsters will be doing on their turn. It's a cool little symbol there with all different monsters reaching around. Quite a few of those. These are the quest cards. These are quest cards. Heroes can go on quests to receive special rewards. I got some more monster cards here. These are the town hall cards. I'll look at the fronts of these two in a second. I just want to show you the backs once I get through them all. Town hall cards. We have the stables. A bunch of those. This is the wyvern nest cards. I think there's 10 of those. Okay. This is... what is... this is the wizard sanctuary. So there's several of those cards here. These. And more of those here. More of the wizard sanctuary cards. We have this one yet? No, this is the barracks. It's the barracks cards. You can see the symbol there. Sorry about that. Quite a few of those. These are the tavern cards. Cool little symbol there. Must be for those. Okay, now these are not linen finish, but they are pretty good quality. So tavern cards have some heroes and stuff that you can bring into your fold. It tells you the cost in gold, how many dice they get, their special abilities down here. And it'll tell you, you'll see this one has axe on it, which means he can only go on the attack side. This guy has the axe and the shield, which means he can go either attack or defend. Let's find one that is only defend, if I can. So like that one is only on the defense side. So some characters have special abilities down here. Some of them, like I have the X, the Rabbit Ranger, you can, after any roll, you can sacrifice Ash to ignore all monster results, but then he gets discarded from the game. So you can see there's cool, again, the artwork goes together with that. Ooh, a Vampire Noble, ooh, a Scarecrow, Moss Fairy, Dwarf Prospector, all those. Let's look at next the Wizard Sanctuary. If I remember the Wizard Sanctuary, there are a lot of the same. Like they have a Guardian, but they have a bunch of Guardians. There's several Baronesses, Grey Mage. So they have several of the same type of card. These seem to be a little more Healer, Mystic, Night Fairy. Got those ones. And we have the Barracks here. Oh, so these have a bunch of the same kind. There's a bunch of Watch Guards, a bunch of Paladins. So these are more like your generic. These are soldiers. So they're not captain. They're not the hero type characters. They still can defend and attack, but they are not as powerful. You can see their cost is a lot cheaper. Town Hall cards here. So this is like special things, like you have a Rune Necklace, Phoenix Feathers. So these are like items that you can purchase to use in the game. Glowing Sword. During combat with a creature, roll one additional white die. Ignore limits. So if you're limited to certain amount of dice, you ignore that. So that comes with those, adds those dice. Ooh, treat the character's red die as a yellow die. That's kind of cool. That's better for the for you. Catapult. The Null Side, the Ballista, the Trebuchet. Then we have the Stables. These are beasts you can ride on. They get attached, they are mounted. They give you a special ability here, and sometimes they give you an extra die. Sometimes, Unicorn, Battle Beast, Sandcrawler. Those are cool. It's the Wyvern Nest cards. So you got like the Bogvern, Silvern, Ghostvern, different types of Wyverns. Flamevern, ooh, don't like that at all. Quest cards, alright, you have quests. It tells you this is pay the white mage to heal the king. You have to go to the sanctuary, and then you do get a reward. So during the next midday phase, reduce the cost of your first action to 0. So that gives you some special abilities there. So there's also different quests you can go on. Some give you extra dice. Ooh, attached to your captain, gain 1 white and 1 yellow die. Some give you gold. Bunch of gold. 12 gold if damage is inflicted on the monster. So there's a lot of cool little quests here you can do to add on to the game. Alright, we got the monster cards here. So these are going to be things that the monsters will do on their turn. Like incite a tavern brawl, negate a wizard, assassinate a hero, poison the well, disarm a captain, summon hobgoblins, corrupt ruins, attack a captain. So we got all those going on. And then we have encounter cards. These are creatures you will encounter on there. The area, so it tells you their health, what gold you get. Here's what their attack die, their creatures, what type of encounter. Some are events, like the market day opens up. You get vampire bats, ill omens in the sky, the satyr, city watch, the cursed wizard. You can see all sorts of different encounters you can have here. So that's that. All right, now let's go on to what is the captain boards. Now these are a little bit different. In order to make everything fit in here, make it a little more cost effective, there is no... so I'll show you here very quickly. So you get... the boards go like that. You assemble them by hand. They're not folded, but if you added a folded board, how much thicker would these be? You'd have need a much taller box. They're going to cost a lot more money. I get it, and it's not really, you don't really need it. Now, you have a attack side. You can see the attack symbol up here, and you have a defense side on this one here. So only defensive characters can go here, only attack characters go here. They each have little runes. And while these abilities stay the same, here's what's cool, is these tiles are double-sided. So you can flip these over and play with different abilities if you want. So for instance, on this one, if that run comes up, you get a Dwarven Guada reward if your white mage healing. The healing failed, but you get 1 gold back. Well, this one, here, you'll get 1 heart on your character. Yay! So those are cool. So this is like the castle. The castle. We got that going on. Now we have the frozen wastelands, or whatever you want to call it. Looks cool. It's a cool little temple out there. Again, you have different abilities depending on what you got going on there. Here is the desert. Put that over here. Again, you have different abilities for the ruins here, depending what side you want to play on. So that gives you some variety as well, which is kind of cool. And then you have like the grassland meadow one. And again, some different abilities here, depending on what you're playing with. Now, this is the monster board here. This is, I forget what they call this now. It's got inlays in it, basically, so it will hold the tokens for you. You're tracking how many white, yellow, and red die they get. They also do have a die limit. I'll show you that here in a second. And this tracks the monster's health as well. That's nice. Inlay board. Now, here are the monsters that come in the game. These have an A and a B side, an easier and a tougher side. So this is Ughurth the Behemoth. So it tells you stuff that has a maximum of 10 die. Here's what he starts with. He has 4 health per player, unless you're playing solo. He has 7. Here's his special abilities. Depending on how many monster results come up in the die roll, he's always going to do something. Like, he's always going to flip and devour the top card of the sanctuary, ignore the effect on the card. So he's always going to eat a card. Depending on how many he gets, he will, from left to right, do these abilities. But he also has, at side A, on side B, he's a little tougher. So he has 12 die, starts with more, he's got more health. I would devour times 2, so he does all these things a little stronger as you go forward here. So that's the Behemoth. You have Foshar the Dragon, there's his side A. And there is his side B. He is pretty tough looking. I don't like that. I'll burn all districts. That sounds lovely. Vale the Enchantress. I believe she is the easiest if we looked at that chart. She's only got 7 health. This Mesmerize is a big special ability though. There's her side B. A little more health for her there. And she's got a 3rd ability. Oh, I didn't notice that. The Orc War Chief Thagu, he has a special setup that happens. Wow, and then the orcs will attack. 8 dice maximum, 8 there. 10 dice, 9. It's a little bit tougher. I believe, yep, now he had Citadel Raid. He gets another ability too. So even if you think you got this guy down, then we have the Vampires Queen, Sur La Fure. So you can embrace. Entourage. 7 maximum dice, 8 there, 9 and 10, and she also gains a 3rd one, and a special setup too. Boy, don't like that. Alright, now there's a little cloth bag here for use for tokens. It's pretty normal, nothing special about it. But I do want to talk about the tray. The tray is great. It's got slots, looks like, for once you break it down, for everything to go in, for easy setup and storage, which I love a lot, especially when you're dealing with a lot of different card types, dice and tokens and all sorts of stuff. It'd be nice to just have these in here and easy to take out and put back in when we're done with the game. So that is the unboxing for Monster Pit. I'm going to be learning how to play this game over the next couple days, but I will be coming back shortly with focusing on spring type theme games as we go into spring here, as I look out the window and see the trees barren but coming back to life, which I like. And the snow is almost gone, which is fantastic. So until next time, please like and subscribe, and please pass this along to all your friends and family who might be interested in these games that Sophie and I do, or I do on my own. And we will love to have some more subscribers, and see you next time on Dad and Daughter Play Games. So until then, bye-bye.